Revelation. So there's a woman named Anne Catherine Emmerich. She's a blessed on her way to canonization. She lived, she was born in 1774 and she died in 1824, 50 years. Mystic of Germany, German saint. And she had the stigmata, so she had the wounds of Christ in her hands and feet. And she had visitations and apparitions of Blessed Mother and Jesus. And during one of these, or many of these I should say actually, apparitions, the life of Jesus was dictated to her. All the parts that we don't know, so to fill in the scriptures. And in fact, when Mel Gibson made The Passion of the Christ, he used the writings of this woman, Anne Catherine Emmerich, on the Passion to fill out the story for the movie. And that's what brought us that great movie. So, in those writings, on the first book, which is about the life of Jesus, the hidden life of Jesus from his conception up till, his life about 12 years old, she writes of the flight to Egypt. So the Holy Family is on the run. They're going to Egypt to get away from Herod and Pilate, and they're trying to make their way from Bethlehem. So they're not coming from home. They're packed light. They don't have much with them. And it's time to stop and sleep, so they find a cave. And they go into this cave, and there's a family already staying in the cave, a husband, a wife, and a boy, a little baby boy. The husband and wife were professional thieves. The baby had leprosy and was not going to live much longer. And Mary took the baby Jesus and bathed him in a little trough of water before bed, and then took him out and swaddled him up and said to the mother, "Put your baby into the water." And so the mother does. And the leprosy is healed instantly. Instantly. And this has so much meaning, on the bigger scope of redemption, because this is a prefigurement of baptism that would be for all of us, that we would be healed in the living waters of baptism. Well, he did it way back then, although it's not in the scriptures. So it's private revelation. You don't have to believe it, but boy, it's sure is a good story. Now, it gets better. Fast forward 33 years, little baby there went into the family business, and he's a professional thief. But he got caught, and now he's hanging on the cross. And in that moment, the Holy Spirit makes him aware, this man is the baby that healed you when you were in your first year of life. And of course, he would have known the story, because if you're miraculously given new life as a baby, you would have grown up with your parents telling you about the story of the family that showed up at the cave and the miraculous water that healed you from the leprosy. And in that moment, he looks at Jesus and he says, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." He has a revelation, an epiphany. This is the one. And I know he can do anything because he already saved me once. Isn't that amazing? But there's more. As they continue to Egypt, Joseph, remember, he's got nothing with him. They didn't have little, time to pack. He's trying to feed his family, and he stops at a fig tree. Fig tree has no fruit. And Joseph starts crying because he feels like he's failing in providing for his family. And 32 years later, Jesus is walking past that same fig tree with his apostles and remembers that moment when that tree caused suffering to his father Joseph. And that's when he curses the fig tree. "No more will you be barren. You're done." Everything's connected. Everything has so many connections when you're talking about a divine person, particularly in the person of Jesus Christ.